Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Dairy Checkoff podcast. I'm Jenni Tilton-Flood, a dairy farmer from Maine's dairy capital of Clinton, Maine, and I will be your host for today's discussion, taking a deeper look at sales and consumers' consumption of dairy. Today, we'll be talking to Paul Ziemnisky, EVP of Global Innovation Partnerships, and Madlyn Daley, SVP of Strategic Insights and Evaluation at Dairy Management Incorporated. We know them as DMI, and they're going to discuss how consumers are purchasing and consuming their dairy. As a farmer funder, when I walk into the grocery store, I go to the market or wherever I am doing my purchasing, what is it that I can be proud of? What is it that should be exciting me in the deal?
I could put the frame on it. When you think about the category itself, 230 billion pounds, we've grown 64 billion pounds of production in the last 20 years. That's about almost 2% growth. The farmers are amazing. We produce about 3 billion pounds more of milk a year, and we find new amazing ways to grow that 3 billion in the minds of consumers, both domestically and internationally. When you look at the last 5 years, that production that we've grown has been split 50% consumed domestically, and that additional poundage has been consumed 50% internationally. And so we work with our peers at USDAC and the industry to really focus growth, I'll call it abroad and domestically. So domestically, you've had amazing success across different channels, from food service to retail to healthcare, and internationally, the same thing. We've really, from an international perspective, taken some of the insights we've done here domestically, and I'll pick a category like pizza, where, you look at the food service channel, about 35% of the cheese, goes through that pizza segment. And that's why we focus to make sure that pizza segment's healthy, because it takes so much dairy. But we've taken the knowledge working with domestic partners and have successfully then taken that volume and exported it internationally with and through those domestic players like Pizza Hut, Domino's, into new places like Japan, Southeast Asia. Now we're opening up the Middle East too. So I think this combination of taking learning domestically and moving volume internationally, and that's the farmers who are pushing that and working with these power players to unlock new growth market. When you think about 330 million people in the U.S., you got billions just in Southeast Asia. So that's why it's so critical to, the farmers should be proud of unlocking those new markets for dairy growth.
Yeah, and I would just kind of piggyback onto that and say that as we look at various places where dairy can be purchased and consumed, we see a very strong retail market. If we think about overall the entire grocery store, the aisle in which dairy sits, the refrigerated part of dairy, is the largest aisle in the entire store. And dairy is actually larger than looking at fresh meats or fruits or vegetables, carbonated soft drinks. It's the largest of all of those. And also, as you think about the growth that we've seen over the last couple of years, dairy has excelled in that respect as well, and is posting some of the largest gains that we've seen. And then similarly, if we think about, the food service channel, certainly it's been challenged a lot over the COVID period of time as many restaurants were closed down. We do see recovery that's occurring, and certainly some of the markets in which we play, and I would say that cheese is a huge player when it comes to food service, with more than half of its volume moving through that channel. We're seeing that the pizza industry is coming back. We're seeing many of the players that we have been involved with helping to kind of push forth that growth within that marketplace.
That's great. And I really like and appreciate the way, Paul, that when you were talking about those good things, you also dovetailed in the work that's going on at DMI to advance all these positive aspects.